How to write a function which is like variable input of parameter? What's the meaning of this variable input of parameter? Consider if we are having a consider if we are having a consider if we make a consider if I am calling some function, maybe consider I wrote a program here. What I am doing here, I am passing two parameter, and here I am doing average of two. Consider I want what I want here average of three number. Can I use this function? Can I use this function? No, I cannot use this function. Reason being, it is having two argument and it is having three argument. But if you see carefully, we are having a printf. Yes, we are having printf. In printf, we say hello percent hello. Okay. So in this function, I am just passing one argument. But if I write like this printf hello percent d comma a, now it having two argument. Printf hello hello percent d hello percent d. Now it have two or three argument. It is having now three argument, 1 2 3. It means what? This all are this function is a variable input function. It means argument, I can change argument runtime. I can change it. I'm not changing anything in the printf function, but my argument is changing here. Here I have one argument, here I have two argument, here I have three argument, like that. And I can increase n number of percent d and n number of argument here, percent d percent c. Same way it is to hold true for the scanf also. That is also the,
Hello?
yeah.
Sir,
Yes sir.
the first printf, where is the argument? That is just a printable statement only, no? That will consider as
This,
argument.
yeah, consider if I am writing my function c is equal to so when you write this function,
Okay.
so what, here you are going to receive one pointer.
Yes.
So how many input you got here?
One input.
So that is what it is, one input.
Okay.
So this all will be passed, basically the address of this will be passed to him. So he will
Uh-huh.
have the address. If you want, I can show you also. Understand?
Yes.
So this is one argument. Same way this is one argument, then here it is two argument, here it is three argument. Like that, all these are variable input argument. So this printf is a special type of function where we can have the variable input. Variable input. So how to write that function which can hold the variable input is, that is what we have to see today. So I had written one program. So you see, in my main function, what I'm doing is I'm calling one function, that is abg function, and in average function I am passing, one time I am passing 4 argument, another time I am passing 6 argument. Same function I am calling. I'm calling same function, and in this function how I return it? I return the name of function, that you can write anything. But first argument I had given int num. What's the meaning of this? It will tell me how many number of argument is coming. So you see here I am passing 3, it means I am passing 3 argument. Here I written 5, it means I am passing 5 argument. So now how to handle it? In this function I had made some variable to in this function I had made some variable. In this function I made this two variable just for looping and some purpose. Apart from that, I made one special function, and that is special not function, a special variable, that is the va list. That va list, it is a variable list. It means it will receive the variable argument. So I am making that one variable, that is va list, and the name I given average. You can give any name you want, it doesn't matter. And now I have to start. So variable argument I have to start. So this is all macro library. It's in this header file. They all are defined. They all are macros. So what we had done, we said va start. For va start, what we said, where we have to take the data in this place, and how much we have to take it. So these two argument we have to pass it. So it will tell my variable input is starting. Now I will get data here, and that how to get data, that I'll tell, that va argue, but that many time I have to call the function. So how to get data is, we have to say va argue, this is the macro to get the data, and where means from which list. So from this list we have to take the data, and what is the type of data. So it's an integer data I'm going to get it. So when first time when I call this function, this macro, so it will give me one first data, so which I will print here, and then I will go back again, and then I will again fetch new data, new data, new data. So how many time I have to loop it, that I have to control through the my variable. Because when he is receiving, those parameter are variably saved into memory, variably one after the other, they are saved into the stack memory. So as much as argument we had passed from here, we should fetch only that much. We should not fetch more than that, because that this we have to do little controlled manner, we have to do it. So the thing is, like, we passing from here 3 argument, so we should call this function only three time. If we are passing 5 element, then we should call this function 5, then we should call this function 5 time. So what I am doing is, I am fetching the element, and I am adding up. Again go for fetch, sum, and then at last I am just dividing, I am just giving the average. And once I return it, again I am calling same function. So I'll run this. So gcc vary dot c hyphen o vary. So you can see here I am passing argument 2 3 4. So first it said 2, then 2 plus 3 is 5, then 5 plus 4 is 9. So, and 9 divided by 3, so I am getting 3. Here I am passing 5 arguments, so 6 7 8 9 10. So 6 plus 7 this, then 7 plus that 13 plus 8, then 9, and then 10. So it become 40. 40 by 5 it become 8. So this is how you can write the variable input parameter. So few things you have to take care. This three dot is a symbol which says it is a variable input parameter. That is one thing is important. Another thing is important is you have to make the VA list where you are going to get the parameter. Then you have to start variable argument, you have to start it, and then you have to read argument one by one. There are few more functions are there which is associated with it, but it's okay for our application.
So this VL list and stdir dot header file you created, or
No,
it's
no, no.
already there?
This is library already there.
And VL list also, that is a default format.
Yeah, it's
It is.
already there. We are till now we not use, so today we are seeing it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, fine. Any question in this? It's pretty simple. They can ask you like you can write variable input function. What is variable input function? So you can write it. It's nothing big deal in that. Only thing is we not studied, so we are seeing now. Any question? Okay. So we can change further. Like if required, we can consider here we can pass only two argument, 2 and 4, and here we can pass maybe 8 argument. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 8 argument I am passing. I'll count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 8 argument I am passing. Let's run it. Run it. I not change this thing, but it's giving sum of all everyone, and then it giving average. Same way here it is 2 parameter and it's giving average. My argument is 2 and 4. Here I am in 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. So like this. I not change anything in the function, but it's working. Okay, so we'll go to next question. That is how same program I had copied here. Same program we discussed. Now next is like what is recursion. So we already aware of what is recursion, and I'm sure like when we started in the beginning, uh, we when we started and we had done this test also. So say vim test. Let's see. So here consider we are calling the average function. It's need 2 argument, and inside that we are calling average function again. So this is called recursion. When the same function we are calling inside the function, it is called recursion. And what will be the output of this function?
This will lead to memory error, no?
Yeah, so it will go to segmentation fault, because it will be we are calling function again, function inside function. It will be
Continue.
keep going, and once the stack got overflow, once the stack got full, it will system will crash and it will be segmentation fault. So it's like that. So same thing, this is called recursion. So what is recursion? When the function calling itself inside the body of function, it's called recursion. The every function, whenever we are having function call, it store some data into stack, and if it is uncontrolled recursion is written, then it will lead to stack overflow or maybe segmentation fault, what we have seen. But even then the recursion is having some use. So someone can ask you what is use of recursion. So we can, if we are having n number and like say 5, 6, 10 number we are having and we want to add them, so we can call continuously function inside function, and that can sum the number. We can use for the factorial. So we can have the recursion function call with xn minus 1. So that will give the factorial that we had used earlier. We can have the Fibonacci series also we can do with. So we can call function, we can print directly this thing, and we can call function with the two variable input, x minus 1, x minus 2. So with that it will call two variable input, and then it can give data. Recursion also can be used for sorting purpose, like maybe in bubble sort or quick sort, even in the merge sort also. We can use this for recursion, because with the all these are actually limited, controlled. So whenever we are having the controlled input, that time we will able to use it. Say Sudoku, if we have to write a program for Sudoku, what we have to do is we have to take one number and consider if we are writing Sudoku for 0 to 9. So for 0 to 9, all number we have to check the valid number is coming on that particular place. So for that, what we have to do, we have to every time we have to call function 9 times, and we have to check the depth whether it's working or not. Recursion also can be used for the printing. So like we can have controlled recursion, and instead of loop we can use the recursion. So I am not sure, but people can ask you like how to print. So here you can have printf statement. Here you can have printf, whatever you want to print in a loop. And here you can have, if it is so if x is greater than 0, you can call him with the x minus 1, and then it will be continuously, it will print. So if we want to print some number into reverse order, so that time also we will able to use it. So that is like few of the use case of the recursion. What is recursion is. So we already aware of, but just know the uses of recursion. Now the last question is for today. What is reentrant? Anybody know what is reentrant? What is reentrant? Okay, so the what is reentrant is a see in earlier days when we are writing a function, then the most of the function is only one person is accessing. Only one person was one thread or one execution process was calling that function. That was the single thread application in earlier days, like when the initial days of programming. So that time what happen is only one function is calling the printf, only one function is calling the scanf. But consider now we are calling some function here. Consider this printf we are calling here. This printf I can run in a two the same program. See, so what I am doing here, I am calling the this function, and at the same time I can run same program here also. And I can call here also, and I can call here. Now this printf function is simultaneously called in the two processes are calling that printf function simultaneously. I can run many time and then it will be keep running. So what is happening? It means same printf function two processes are calling. Like that 100 processes are possible. So it means the printf function when somebody is writing, they have to take care of this thing. Say consider we are having a program. Consider if we are having this function, and in this function if we are having value of x, say here we are doing something like that, x plus plus. We are doing x plus plus. So this x plus plus means this x plus plus means x equal to x plus 1. That is what the meaning of this one. Consider if one person came and he is reading the value of x, and another process came that is also reading of x. Now one person got, consider x value is 5, he also got 5. Now he increment, it becomes 6, and he copied into x, it becomes 6. He also got 5, he also increment, he also return back, then again it got 6. While both processes are incrementing, it should become 7. So that is the problem. We don't want 7 actually. The thing is, there is possibility of mismatch. And that can lead a problem. So the reentrant function we have to write little care we have to take on when we are writing the reentrant function. What's the meaning of reentrant function? So in earlier days of programming, the non-reentrant was not a thread. If we are having normal function, so no problem. The function did not have the concurrent access. So nobody simultaneously accessing, only in no much interrupt was there. And in many older implementations, function are expected to the work environment where the single threaded process are executing, like in DOS. So only one process is executing. There is no multi-threading at all. But however, now the concurrent programming is a common practice. Now everywhere we are using concurrent programming. So we have to be little aware of the what all the common thing we have to take care when we are writing the reentrant function. So now what is reentrancy? The reentrant function is one that can be used for more than one task concurrently without fear of data corruption. So we have to take care of like data is not going to be corrupt with due to the reentrancy. The conversely a non-reentrant function, one that cannot be shared the more than one task. So what's the meaning of this? If function is non-reentrant, it means only one process or one task will execute. But nowadays we need all function to be reentrant, because that any process can come or multiple process can be accessing them. So what the reentrant function have to take care? So first of all, like it should not hold the static data. So what's the meaning of that? Consider if one function having some static data and another thread also come in that also changing the static data, then when the previous process will come, it will see something else, while it's not expecting that. He want separate, he want like when one function is executing, he want separate treatment. He don't want anybody disturbing him, because he is not aware of who is coming, who is not coming. So, and moreover, the function when we are writing, it should not return the pointer. It should not return to the pointer. A reason being that whatever value it is having, all the data provided by the caller to the function, it can be changed. Whatever data is there, because another process come and one process return the address, while the another process come and it can alter the data. So those data can be garbage to the one process. Like say one process came and it calculated everything and he kept and then he returned. Another process will come, he will also calculate and put in same place. Once it do in same place, and then if another process want that data, it won't able to get it. And this is one of the important thing when we are having if we are writing the reentrant function. So inside the reentrant function, we should not call non-reentrant function. That is mistake can be common. So inside the reentrant function, we should not call the non-reentrant, because consider if we call the from here to here, it's all are okay, but this function is non-reentrant. So first process come and it will be sitting here. Another process also will come and that can also fall here. So there is possibility like two people will come from here to here and they may stuck into like this kind of thing. Must not call the non-reentrant function from the reentrant function. That's all for today. Any question you can ask. Okay, if no question, that's okay. So next class Harsha will take. I had given him some